All right, what's going on, everybody? Hope everyone here in New Jersey is getting some sunshine today, but doing it at a safe social distance from everybody else out there because it is a beautiful sunny day. But hope everyone's doing well. I have today with me my main man, Peter Buntzen of Oz Moving and Storage. And Oz are a fantastic moving company. We do a lot of work with in Hoboken and Hudson County. They also cover some other areas in and around New York, and I'll let Peter talk about his service areas in a minute here. They provide a phenomenal service to our clients. They take super good care of them in regular times. And the thing I'm excited to talk to them about today is the adaptations and the changes that they're making to kind of pivot and still help clients move when they need to move, because people still have leases and closings and things that are happening. So I'm excited to hear what Peter and Oz are doing in the next few weeks and months in this new world. But Peter, why don't you just give a little quick introduction of yourself, a little more detail of what you guys do, where you cover, and like the services you provide. We can set the stage here.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for the introduction. My name is Peter Buntzen. I've been in this moving industry for over 18 years now. Recently joined the Oz team and very excited to be over here. Been working with Jeff and his team for a few years now. So we are very excited to be streaming live with him. The service areas that we do provide is it's in the tri-state area: Southern Connecticut, Westchester County, Southern New York, Northern New Jersey, and the 5 boroughs of Manhattan. The services that we do offer are moving and storage. We're a full service moving company. We provide full packing, moving, unpacking, storage, so on and so forth. We actually have the ability to send out over 50 crews in a day. Wow. And right now, because of the environment that we're working in, we are scaling back our number of crews that we're sending out every day to about 30. And the reason we're doing that is just to be safe, cautious, put the customer and our workers and the employees' priorities first, to make sure that everybody is well, feeling well, no one has any symptoms, and so on and so forth. So we are monitoring that daily in the dispatch yard and working very closely with our operations and the sales team to make sure that everybody is on the same page here.
Perfect. That's awesome. I think we're all pivoting and kind of making some changes in our day-to-day operations, right? So it's a matter
Absolutely.
Of still helping people when they need to buy, sell, move, all the different things that come along our lines of work, but doing it in the safest way possible. So if it works for you, I'll run through a few questions that I have that I think people who are getting ready to move or are going to be planning to move in next few weeks or months, or even maybe even further, depending on what the environment looks like, that might help them as they're working through their plans and what to do. So I know you've actually, I think, just in the last week, have booked 2 or 3 moves with clients of ours who they have leases that are coming up or they have closings and they have to move. So I know you guys are still active out there. The first question I really had for you is how soon should people schedule a move in an uncertain time that we're in right now? I know more lead time is usually better. Is that still the case, or should people maybe be rethinking their scheduling of things?
So what we have seen recently and in the market, in the changing environment today, our recommendation is book as soon as possible, get on the schedule, and get on the building's schedule as well, because the buildings are also dictating what's happening in the market, where they are allowing and not allowing moves inside the building. And that is actually changing daily. And we're working with our partners, which are the agents, the building property managers, to ensure that all the necessary steps are taken to provide a safe move, but also that the movers can work inside the building, because there is buildings in the city that are not allowing moves as we speak now. We also have a lot of clients that are pushing moves up from April to the end of March because of the uncertain times, and they don't know if the building will be open or not open into April. So to answer your question, it's kind of the sooner the better you can get on our schedule, and the sooner and better that you can get on the building schedule will make everything easier for everyone. And we have a lot of contacts with the building. So if there is an instance, and it happened the other day, that the building is shut down, but we know the building and the property management very well, that we place calls in there and they gave us an exception to move a client in, and we're going to work with the building and let them know when we're arriving, so we can let the building know, and then they can have people stay in their homes and stuff like that while we're in the hallways and moving people in. So we are taking the appropriate steps to and communicating with all our partners out there in the industry.
That's super important. That actually jumped ahead to another question I was going to ask is, are we seeing problems yet? Like in Hoboken, we're still pretty open from what I understand. I haven't run into personally a building that's closed, but I know that there are ones in neighboring towns, and especially in the city. So are you seeing a large percentage? Just a handful? Like what's that environment look like right now?
Right now, it is just a few buildings in the city.
Okay.
The Hoboken area hasn't really been affected from what we've seen yet. But again, as you get outside of the city into the Hoboken areas, those things will start changing. I know into the Westchester, we're having a hard time booking moves up there just because of the climate in the epicenter up in the Westchester area. So, but we're working with our buildings up there, and we're making sure that everybody is safe. So we're adjusting to the times, and the times are changing right now, daily, hourly, minute by minute, and we're just making the appropriate adjustments with it.
Gotcha.
But and as we go further, just to clear up one question for everybody, and everybody has this: how can you be moving? Right now, moving is still considered an essential service. People have to move into their apartment, have to get out of their apartment. So if considered right now, moving is an essential business that needs to be moved. So
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's across the board right now, right? Across all states and everything. Moving is still an essential service. Real estate activity like showing of properties and things like that is in flux. Some states are saying essential, some states are saying not. But I believe, as much as I've heard, is moving has been pretty clear across the board. It's all essential.
it has been very clear, but there's also a lot of uncertainty because of the real estate is not allowed to show apartments and be in the apartment, and then how can the movers be in the apartment, and with social distancing and all that kind of stuff. And actually, I was up in our dispatch operations center last night with the operations manager and a couple of dispatchers, and one of the suggestions that they made was put together a comprehensive move or floor plan for the furniture plan for the movers. So moving is a very intimate process where we're moving someone out of a place into another one, direct contact, direct communication with them. So the more that you can lay out for us is the less amount of conversation we're going to have and interaction we'll have at the new location. So it's very important that you put together a room plan for us to say where the sofa goes, where the bed goes. So we're not saying 100 times coming back and forth to you, and we're trying to keep our social distancing, to the minimum. So.
Perfect. And you keep segueing right into my next question, which is perfect, which was, what do I do if I do schedule a move with you? What do I do in the next few days and weeks leading up to it? So building a room plan is something that you just kind of led into with. Anything else that people should be doing packing wise, preparing wise, to make things smoother and easier and less complications during this time?
Of course, the more that they can have packed and ready to go for us right now is great. It'll just speed up the process. But again, we offer the moving and packing service. So, some people, and what we're seeing right now is that some people got out of New York City and are down in Florida. I'm just using that as an example, and are down in Florida and are coming back. So what we have done, and this is an extreme measure during these extreme times, is we are putting together documents for the quote unquote absentee client. So if you live in New York and you're down in Florida, you can still get all of your paperwork signed, payment process, contract signed, storage contract signed, so on and so forth. So you can kind of be an absentee prospect on your move. We'll probably FaceTime you in during the process of us moving you out, but we're trying to implement new steps and be very creative here on how we can get people in and out of their apartments, even if they're not in the city location.
That's perfect. We're already seeing that from people who are leaving town, but their leases are coming up and they already found a new place, and we're trying to troubleshoot that. So it's great that you're able to get in there and kind of fill those voids and fill those holes where people are not present.
And listen, it's just a matter of the communication between us, the client, and giving all of us enough time to send the documents back and forth, get them signed. It's a little bit of a process, but listen, it's the safety of the resident and the safety of the movers is what's most concerning to us, and making sure that you have a successful move in a new place. And this is where that room plan will come in as well. So if you can send that over when we get over to the new place, we'll have your furniture put in the appropriate places, and then you walk in and you're just unpacking boxes and putting stuff away. So it's I think that's going to be very successful for us.
Awesome. No, I think it kind of echoes across everything that we're doing in our business too, is more communication, over communication, more pre-planning, the better. And then if you have to pivot, and if the building shuts down, you can't get in, or whatever the case is, like then you pivot at that time. But we just need to be as prepared with what current information we have. And it sounds like that's the same way you guys are kind of operating too.
100%. And the nice thing about it is once say we get to a building and they close it, listen, we have storage and we'll work with you. We'll do whatever we need to do. Listen, we want to build partnerships, relationships with the agents, the building, and most importantly, the client. Because once you find a quality mover out there, you just go back to them and for every time you move, and you're not looking anywhere else because you know the person took care of you. So
For sure.
And that's really important to us, is building a relationship with the agent, the clients, and everyone else.
And I think that philosophy and the way that you run the business in that manner is important in normal times, but even more important in times like this. So I think that's when that kind of style of business really shines even more. That relationship, bend over backwards, do whatever needs to be done to take care of the client type attitude is crazy important right now. So
100%. And the one thing that's nice too is for the clients or the agents or whomever it may be, our partners, just ask us the question. Just say, can we do this or can we not do this? And at the end of the day, we can give you a yes or a no. And if we give you a no, we're going to explain to you why. And if we give you a yes, we'll explain to you why. But if we don't know what your needs, concerns, wants, scares are at this time, then we can't help. And it's kind of like status quo, and we keep moving. And then we both miss out on an opportunity to work with each other because we didn't ask the right question. So don't be afraid to ask questions either. We're here to help you. We have, I'm just going to throw this number out there, probably 150 years moving experience. Oz has been in business for over 25 years. It's the original owners. We're here to help you. A lot of the same original movers are still in the company. They're just in different positions. They're not the movers anymore. But, I've been on jobs, and these guys are fantastic. We go in, the movers have been with Oz for 15, 16, 17, 10 years. It's a family-run business, a family-run operation, and we're taking care of each other. And I know this is a scary time, but we're here to help you guys.
It's awesome. Very, very cool. No, it's a great way that you guys run your business. I can speak from experience there with clients who use you.
Thank you.
For sure. So one other quick question for you. Day of the move, what should people that are moving do? Should they be with you? Should they just give you access to the condo or the house? What's the best policy and procedure right now? I'm sure it's some people do like to be there, I guess, like watching what's going on, helping maybe direct, and other times people may not have been there in the past anyway. What are you guys doing now?
That's an interesting question, just because we want to have the client there, and we always want to have the client there because we're always going to have questions. Where does this go, or how does this come apart, or did you guys put this together in the room? Does it need to come apart? And we like the interaction with the client as well, because when the client's involved in the move, it makes a successful move. When the client is not around for the move, there's always issues that come up. So, but again, it's interesting times. I took a call last night, and a lady said, I know social distancing and we're not supposed to have more than 5 people in a home in Hoboken. Well, if you send 4 movers and my husband and I are here, then what happens? Well, we understand that, but at the same time, we're trying to move you and make it as least stressful on you as possible. And then when we get this moving process going, after we are in the apartment for an hour or so, and we wrapped all your furniture and we took things apart and you had things boxed, we're pushing this to the truck, down the hallway to the elevator into the truck. And there's usually a guy in the truck packing. So that means there's 3 guys in the apartment, and you and your husband can be in the apartment. And then that's 5. And then there's another guy pushing stuff down the hallway. So listen, we're trying to do the social distancing as much as we can during the process of moving, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
And we are taking precautions too. Listen, the movers are wearing gloves. We are wearing booties. And we are taking the precaution necessary. One nice thing, I talked about the operations manager or the sales manager this morning. One of the things we're doing too is we're assigning crews that only work with the same crew from now on until this crisis is over. So they are assigned to a truck and a crew. There is no cross-pollination of crews to trucks and trucks to crews. I think that's very, very smart, and I'm glad we had that conversation this morning, because it's just something that we're doing that I don't think anybody else is doing in the industry, that we're just assigning 1 crew per truck. Then that's another reason why we have the ability to put out 50 trucks, but we're only sending out 30, because trucks need to be cleaned. Truck needs to be fumigated. Truck needs to be wiped down. And that's what we're doing when the truck is not on the road.
Absolutely. That's actually another question I had was, how are your crews kind of set up right now? Because I think that's super, super important as well. Super smart to be doing that.
Listen, I think it's great, and they're keeping everyone to the truck. So if it's a small move and it's a small studio move, we send out a small crew truck, then the small crew truck goes, and it's so on and so forth. So we are not cross-pollinating crews, And we are, I know the dispatch and the operations guy are monitoring these guys very seriously in the morning, and then when they come back as well. And like I said, I was at the place yesterday. We were busy. There was trucks backing in and unloading and leaving, and everything else was going on. So if you would have been in our yard yesterday, it would have felt like it was a normal day of operation, and it's not out there. So it's just it's just a crazy environment. It's changing, and it's where we all just have to adjust to it right now.
For sure. Well, all right. Well, we hit all the questions I had. Anything else that you'd like to add that that people should be thinking about or be aware of, either up there when they're playing or how you guys are operating? Anything that we didn't cover that is important?
Just don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call us, and ask questions. We're here to help you guys. We have the experience. We know the laws. If you just want to have a conversation about moving because you're nervous about it and you've got to move in the summer and the summer's coming, and we all know in this industry that's the time of the season is the summer to be moving, and all the agents are enjoy this little rest here because it seems like soon we're going to be working 25 hours a day when it's only 24 hours in a day to make sure that everybody is happy and moved and into their new home.
100%. I think we're gonna have a little. We're getting a little crazy right now, and then things are going to delay possibly through this downturn when there's not going to be a lot of new stuff being initiated, and then things are just going to probably be nuts when the floodgates open, when things get a little calmer and we're allowed to get out, move about the cabin a little bit more in a few weeks, months, or whatever that time frame looks like. So it's going to be an interesting time, but I'm just glad to have a partner like you guys that are getting out in front. And seriously, when Peter says that you can pick up the phone and call them at any time, they are super, super accessible, which makes it so much smoother and easier. Moving's a pain in the butt, right? Like people have a lot of different things to consider, a lot of different things they have to deal with. Having, reliable, trusted people is important. So, we appreciate you guys being really awesome with our clients during this time and coming on and giving us an idea of what to expect out there. And any parting words, and we'll wrap it up.
Well, I'm good on my end, man. Thank you for the opportunity to get on to talk to you, and this is awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Peter. I appreciate it.
You got it.
All right.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Jeff.
Stay healthy. I'll see you guys.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.